Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Recover Alaska's First Taste, monthly series normalizing sober and sober curious lifestyles through candid conversations and delicious, tasty, zero-proof drinks handcrafted by bartenders who know how to make a drink and a whole lot more. I'm your host, Justin Williams from Justin's Alaska Eats. I'm very excited today because it's April. A lot of things happen in April. We're going to discuss how to be mindful of one's relationship with alcohol, yours and mine, and everyone in between. I'd like to introduce or have our panelists introduce themselves. Yaari, how are we doing today?
I am doing great. Thank you, Justin. Like Justin said, my name is Yaari. I live in Anchorage on the lands of the Dena'ina people, but I am just a guest here. So originally I'm from St. Lawrence Island, which is located in the Bering Sea. And I've been with the same job for 16 years at the Alaska Native Heritage Center. And I'm also a full-time student for the University of Alaska Fairbanks. So that's who I am.
Awesome. Thank you for having us, or thank you for joining us and having us, I suppose. Thank you so much, Yaari. Mr. Belcher, how are we doing today, sir?
Hey, Justin, how's it going? I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. My name is Brian Belcher, born and raised here in Anchorage, Alaska. I work full-time with Alaska Behavioral Health as a peer support specialist for the residential treatment team. And I also teach acro at Studio 49. In between those two things, I also find time to go to school full-time, working on finishing my degree in human services, and then on to my master's. Try to be as active as I can, random things here and there. And yeah, looking forward to chatting and chopping it up with everybody.
Awesome. Happy to have you here again. And Mr. RJ, how are we doing today?
I'm excellent. I'm so happy to be here, especially with all the cool things that happen in April. So yeah, I'm RJ. I've been bartending for 20 years. Actually, April 17th, my birthday, will be the 21 years of bartending for me because I started on my birthday. So that's why we're going to do some birthday stuff in this episode. I'm also a writer, stage performer. I get around. A lot of Anchorage knows me, so I don't get away with much. So I try to keep myself busy. But yeah, so we're going to do a shot today. And the reason behind that is the concept behind this was started many, many years ago when we were out for a friend's birthday, me and my group. And there were a lot of sober people in that group of friends that went out that night, whether it was because someone was pregnant or someone was in recovery or someone was the DD or they had to work the next day. For whichever reason, there was quite a few people in this group that night that weren't drinking. And so every time everybody else took a shot, it seemed like we were just leaving them out and it felt really uncomfortable. And the thing about taking a shot for me, it's camaraderie and it's about, just cheersing your friend and having that little moment of joy. So you can do it in a zero proof manner. And I always say it's not what you take, it's that you take the shot with me. Do some Coke in a glass. I don't care. Just cheers me because you're a joy in my life and I'm glad you're here. And a lot of times I've noticed that when people get sober or go into recovery, they stop being invited places if there's going to be alcohol present. People stop asking them to come over for dinner because there's going to be a bottle of wine. And, we can't make other people's choices. Still invite them. Don't lose your friendships just because they're on a different path than you in this moment. But yeah, so we're going to do a birthday cake shot, zero proof. And what we'll be doing today is we'll be starting with some ice. I have cocktail shakers. I have an entire bar kit, but I wanted to use something that anybody would have laying around their house. So we're just using a regular coffee cup that'll seal. Throw some ice in. Or take some half and half. Or for our lactose-free friends, feel free to use rice milk, almond milk, anything like that. Actually, vanilla almond milk would be delicious with this. We're going to take a couple of drops of almond extract. And then a little bit of simple syrup. Simple syrup is super easy to make. You just start boiling some water and you mix your hot water with an equal amount of sugar. So a cup of water to a cup of sugar, stir until it's dissolved. That's basic simple syrup. Now, what I've done with this one was I actually mixed some vanilla extract into it. You could also boil some vanilla beans in that water while it's being made and then stir the sugar in. Simple syrup there's endless possibilities with it. So just gonna shake that up. And there's two ways to do this to make it more fun. I'm gonna go with the complicated route. Easiest way is just to top it once it's done with some whipped cream and put some rainbow sprinkles on it. I'm gonna do something different today. And I'm actually going to dip my glass into the whipped cream and then roll it in the rainbow sprinkles to make it look a little bit more like a cake. And now that this is shaken, we strain. And there's your birthday cake shot. Everybody ready? Brian, you already got yours done?
Ready.
All right, so cheers. Happy birthday to me and Justin.
Yay!
Happy birthday to you.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, I want to hear yours first.
I used rice milk for mine because I am not lactose. Milks and I are not friends.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like them, they don't like me. I don't know what I did to them, but I'll accept what I get.
No.
Which is like nothing. But it was delicious. I used mint extract instead of almond extract for mine, which it was super nice. It had a kind of like reminded me of a thin mint without the chocolate.
Okay. I see you out here being creative, messing recipes up and making them better. I see you. No, I mine was great. I actually added a little bit of vanilla extract in there. That's like the basic go-to, but it just kind of exacerbates that flavor that you get from everything else already. That syrup and the whipped cream as well. That was good. So Yaari, what did you think of this? What's your first thought?
I actually liked it better than I thought I would because, like Brian, I'm not really into milk because I'm lactose intolerant, but I really enjoyed it. And when I go out with my husband or my friend and everybody's doing their shots, I actually feel left out. It makes me feel alone. I feel lonely. I feel not included. And finally, I told my husband that it made me feel bad that I have to stand there and watch everybody do their shots. So when they order shots, he orders me a shot of Sprite. And so it makes me feel included, but still at the same time makes me feel left out.
Yeah. It's really interesting too. And RJ, you brought this up in the two previous episodes too, just how, sobriety kind of goes hand in hand with, kind of like a paradigm shift of the social aspect, right? Of going to a bar or drinking with friends, stuff like that. And you already kind of hit the nail on the head about how that makes you feel lonely. You don't feel included, which is a very powerful thing. And I really don't think that I've really observed it as much as I have in these, past couple of months, how important that social aspect is. You don't want to lose your community when you go sober. You don't want to think you're the only person that's not allowed to have fun, or that you're a buzzkill, or that people like you less, right? Because of that, but because of the importance of that social aspect too, and of course, everything else, like our actual physical, tangible health, it's really important to kind of observe things like our sobriety and things like that. And so what we're talking about today is, our relationship with alcohol, and the limitations and the boundaries that we may have for someone on, one journey and another person on another journey. As you know, First Taste is hosted by Recover Alaska, has a lot of great tools and resources to help you out with those journeys. have you guys ever, what resources do you guys have or have used in the past, to kind of gauge your own boundaries and your own establish your own relationship with alcohol, and or sobriety or recovery, and what was the progenitor, the trigger, that kind of gave you that spark, like, wow, I need to be sober. I need to try sobriety or live a sober, curious lifestyle or drink less. Like, what sparked that for you guys?
I was at treatment one night and my instructor said, when you go home tonight, I want you to look in the mirror. And when you look in the mirror, I want you to pretend you're looking at somebody else. Pretend it's not you. And I want you to think about these things. He said, do you like the choices that this person makes? Do you like their lifestyle? Do you like what they consume? And before I went home that night, I decided to close my eyes and pretend I was standing in front of the mirror. And when I saw myself, I pretended I was looking at someone else. I immediately became judgmental of this person. And that was the moment I realized how much damage I was doing to myself, my job, my loved ones, how much damage I've caused between me and everything around me. And that was the very moment I decided I quit. I can't do this anymore. I'm hurting myself. I'm hurting my kids and everybody else around me. And realized how much I lost, and I couldn't do it anymore. That was my aha moment.
For me, I would say there was multiple factors that played into my aha moment. I know a big thing for me is I'd been having conversations with a friend of mine even before my aha moment about how I felt like something needed to change in my life. And I knew it was with how much I was out partying and I was out the way I was living my life. One of the big factors that did help me with my change was, not that it's anything to celebrate, but I'd gotten a third DUI, and we all know in the state of Alaska, your third DUI is like it's a felony DUI. I was able to work with and the therapeutic court system, which they helped me get into treatment, and not only just treatment for alcohol, but treatment for my mental health as well. And working on both of those, for me, they were co-occurring issues that were happening. I was using alcohol to cope with my mental health, and I didn't really realize it. I didn't realize that's something that I was doing for so long. And once that aha moment hit of like, oh, this is how you've been dealing with all of these different things that you've been through in your life, or just how life has been coming at you just in general right now, it all started to make more sense to me. And I think for me, the more mental clarity that I started to develop, and the more that I started to feel like I was really coming into myself, gaining my power back, as I like to call it, I really started to fight for my recovery a lot more throughout that process.
I'm not 100% sober, but I have cut way back because, like Brian, I have used it as a coping mechanism before, and that's when I start to get myself in trouble. And a few months ago, I came to the realization that I was drinking pretty much every night because it was so easy. Because I lived downtown, I was within walking distance of all the bars, and being a 20-year bartender, I would walk in and order a water, and there would be 2 shots placed in front of me because people around the bar were buying them for me. So I wasn't really being given the option, because impulse control is not something I'm very good at. So I ended up moving out to the other side of town and came to the realization that the reason I was going to bars every night was because I was lonely. I lived by myself, and it was the easiest way to have some sort of social aspect to my life. And moving out here on the South Side and having a roommate, someone who's around, like, I don't feel alone all the time anymore. And so it's just it's become a lot easier to keep my drinking in check, even when I'm, behind the bar. So yeah, for me, a lot of times it was because I wasn't taking the time to say, hey, I need a person, I need a conversation, I need a friend. It was just easier to go to the bar. And so I had to start looking at that myself. Like, do I really want to go to a bar right now? Or do I just need to call a friend and have someone to talk to?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. When we think of, if we drink, why do we drink? And if we don't drink anymore, why we used to, it's amazing that it can even, like you just said, RJ, it can replay, like morph our social structure so much, like our immediate surroundings, that we either need a drink or a human, you know. And I think that's a very powerful observation for everyone's story. That's really crazy. I barely drink. I don't really have a relationship with alcohol. And so listening to people who have had one or do have one, it's helping me learn a whole lot, right? Because a lot of this stuff can be applied to a lot of different situations, but especially here in Anchorage, like, sobriety, sober curious lifestyles, drinking less, right, is a powerful statement for how much we care about ourselves and the people around us and what we want to teach them and what we want them to see. And so to be honest, if I went to a bar right now, I think probably the only thing I would want them to see is me drinking this drink, because they would be jealous and they would probably come up to me and say, hey, who made that? And then RJ, boom, you have a new friend. So
I want to add something. I want to add something about what Brian said, because he said he used alcohol as a coping mechanism, which I did too. But mine is a little bit different because I come from a different culture than the Western culture. When I first moved here, because of the trauma I endured, I knew I needed help, but I did not want to seek Western counseling because I was afraid of running into another Western counselor who would not understand me or my culture, how to build a relationship with me, how to help me, because we come from two different worlds. And that's how I used alcohol as a coping mechanism, because I didn't know where else to go.
Yeah. Brian, did you want to add anything to that?
Well, I think with society today, it is so, it's taught at such a young age as like, oh, hey, you had a bad day, let's go have a drink. Oh, hey, you had a good day, let's go have a drink. And then before you know it, like, that's how you learn to live your life. Today was a rough one, let's go drink about it. Today was a good one, let's go drink about it. Then where's the socializing aspect in that socializing aspect of drinking has now been removed, and we're drinking to celebrate or to process a moment. And that aspect of socializing, which is why people are drinking to begin with, to socialize and be around people, is slowly leaving. And I think especially as we as a society processed and are dealing with the pandemic, especially that first chunk of having to hunker down and everything like that, it really got out of control for a lot of people, because at this point don't have any responsibilities, and the liquor store for some reason has now been deemed as an essential place of operation. So we'll go buy what we want, buy what we can, and drink because there's nothing to do. And then before you know it, you have these people who are drinking and then realizing that, oh, hey, I'm lonely, I'm really suffering and I'm hurting right now, so I'll keep drinking. And it just creates this spiral of bad coping skills and depressive activities.
Yeah, and it does become a cycle. It's not just like separate lines, different instances. It's literally a circle, where one point, feeds the other, feeds the other, feeds the other.
But I'm grateful though for the things like, you know, creating a mocktails or like the zero proof things, brands like Zero Proof or Seed Lip or Free that do like their spiritless spirits or the alcoholless wines, and like having those NA things, because, you know, it gives that opportunity for those of us who are part of the sober curious or sober lifestyle to still feel included in those moments where we do go out to a bar and want to socialize and be part of whatever is happening, and not having to be like, oh well, it's cool, you go have your whatever, and I'll chill over here with my water, or we're doing shots. Oh, can I have a shot of water please, so I want to be a part of this too.
Right. And that kind of, you know, it really emphasizes the importance of having, you know, a show like this and a panel like this, you know, where we get to enjoy each other's company and discuss these things, and show everyone who's watching how amazing, you know, mocktails can actually be. You know, like, we're not the uncool kids in the back of the corner, you know, like, we're at the front because we're actually dealing with the issues that we have to deal with. And whether that looks like drinking less or drinking not at all, you know, we're the ones, you know, on the forefront. You guys are the ones on the forefront taking care of your lives, and everyone behind you is watching, saying, how do I get to that point? So I hope everyone on this panel is really proud of themselves, of where they are, and also not hating who you used to be. You know, we have to love every part of ourselves, I think, to really move forward, at least to some degree. So I hope that we can all learn that in our own individual journeys and ways. And this drink that you made, RJ, is really helping me love myself today. So thank you. What would you guys rate this beautiful birthday drink? 1 out of 5. What do you got?
Because I am not a fan of milky drinks, this one's like a 2.5 for me.
Okay.
It looks great though. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a party, I'll tell you that.
I have to say, I give it a 4. I was really surprised I liked it because I'm not really into dairy products, so I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Now, me and dairy, we don't have a really good relationship. We have a relationship, but it's rocky. We're in counseling. So I'd probably give this a 3. As much as I love milkshakes and ice cream and pizza, having a drink like this wouldn't be my first thought. So I'm with you, Yaari. I definitely enjoyed this more than I thought I would. And I think it, you know, with some experimentation, I can make it even better. You know, trying different extracts. You know, like I usually drink almond milk. Brian, you said you usually have rice milk or something like that. Like, yeah, like, you know, there's different textures and different flavors. So I mess around with this recipe, see what works best for me. But I'd probably give it a 3, a solid 3. So as far as birthday drinks go, this is a winner for me.
Well, happy birthday to you, Justin.
Happy birthday to you, sir. We're just getting cuter as we age, aren't we?
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I look amazing for 58. It's unfortunate that I'm 42.
It's crazy. I shaved. I'm 32, so I shaved, you know, a month ago or whatever, and I posted a picture on Facebook and asked people, "How old do you think I am?" And everyone said,
How old do you think I am?
You? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. 39, 40.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're too nice. I'm 53.
You're not 53.
Yes,
Stop.
I am. I'm
Really?
a grandma.
You look marvelous for 53. If I look half as good as you at 53, I will have beat life. I will win.
Thank you.
So all you guys are older than me, man. I feel like the baby here. I'm trying to get like all of you guys. So if drinking this is gonna keep this gorgeous complexion going, then I think we're in good hands. So thank you guys for this panel, for this discussion, this extremely important discussion. I hope that all of you guys are encouraged to continue to have these talks after we're done here, with yourself, with your loved one, with your family, with your friends. Very important. And thank you for everyone who's watching. This is Recover Alaska's First Taste. If you like what you saw, like, love, share it all on social media. Get more people to watch this. And don't forget to visit the Recover Alaska website for more recovery resources, zero proof recipes for drinks, just like this beautiful birthday one that we had today. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.